Yo, what's up? It's your boy Johnny Zuko.
And Cali Ramirez.
You know, we were here at the 4th annual Watsonville Film Festival, and tonight is opening night, and so we're gonna see if we can talk to a few people and get some insight on how this film festival started and how it originated, and get the whole idea and notion behind it. This season, right, Danny? I think we're gonna be expanding a little bit more on the culture. It goes from music to art and to films. So we're gonna be doing it all this season. So this season's gonna be, already hectic. Tell them, right?
It is kind of difficult to go from season one, which was mostly music related, to try to get actors or clothing line owners or producers or film
artists.
It's kind of, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, see, the thing about it though is our mission here is to bring you the pulse of this indie culture that we do. You know what I mean? This is not just covering music. This is covering all factions, arts and entertainment. Basically, is what this is. And so we're covering the film festival today, and hopefully we're gonna be covering all 4 days. So.
And if we don't get tickets, we're Mexican enough to know how to sneak in.
Yeah, and a few of them are at the Miller Center, so I know a few spots.
So,
lights. Yo, it's Johnny Zuko. I'm standing here with director and co-founder Consuelo. She founded this program to help support the youth and bring awareness to this community. Well, this is like the 4th annual, right? What was the original mission for this film festival?
Well, the mission has always been the same. We want to bring community together through film. We also want to showcase our local talent. So it's a combination. We want to present really great films, and we want to also showcase filmmakers making films here in Watsonville. We encourage local filmmakers to submit, their projects, and we have a programming committee. We all watch films, we make decisions, and the main thing is that our festival is about positive change in our community. We have all kinds of films, we are open, but definitely we want to have films that are going to inspire our audience and are promoting cultural understanding.
Yeah, because I noticed the lineup this year is really cultural and is really caters to the Hispanic culture, correct?
Yeah, we are not a Latino film festival per se, but we do reflect our community. So we have a lot of Latino films, and we also have some Japanese themes, and we also have Filipino. So we are definitely open. It depends on the different films every year, different submissions. So we put the program together as a puzzle. We never know exactly how things are going to work out until the end. It's a whole process. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, how long does it take to plan the film festival, actually?
It takes 1 year. We start right after we finish the festival.
So right after tomorrow, you gotta go. So like what? This Monday, you gotta go. Like, oh man, I gotta plan this again.
Yes. So we have 4 days of films, and then Monday morning, we are like, okay, these are all our lessons learned. This is what happened. This is what worked really well. This is what we can improve for next year. So we start right after.
I noticed in the second year, you guys branched out to different venues, and this year you only cut down to 2 venues. Why is that?
Well, we realized that the community really wanted to see as many films as possible, and it was kind of overwhelming to have so many options in different places. So we restructured the festival, so now we are focusing our energy on one venue, and we have a big selection of films.
It was pretty ambitious, though, to actually even conceive the idea of the film festival. Like, what clicked in your guys' head to say, like, we should do something to try to give back to our community or start a festival of this magnitude?
Well, yes, we definitely think big. I think there are many inspirations for this film festival. The first one is definitely this community. I think we are so ready for this type of events. you can see the response tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
People, we are all ready for this caliber of events, cultural events. So we realized that, and we were waiting for other people to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, let's start small. We start with one afternoon, and we'll make it happen and learn from there. And then it's also seeing so many people doing wonderful work. You know, we are a festival, we see other people doing different work for the community in different areas, so we can do this as a festival, and that's our job.
Do you feel as each year this film festival is going to grow and grow?
That's the plan.
That's the plan?
That's the plan. We're putting Watsonville on the map.
There you go.
We support students in the after-school program through enrichment classes and different clubs that reflect their interests or allow them to express something that they would like to learn more about. In this case, we're participating with the film festival through some of the work with our students from the Dream Club. So the Dream Club is a student club that supports undocumented students in the community. We have student artwork that will be displayed as part of the showing of Documented, the documentary film by Jose Antonio Vargas. And so the goal of that film is to shine light on the plight of undocumented people in this country. So our students are participating by answering the question, what does it mean to be American? So define American. Right, so from their perspective, they're creating an art piece that makes people it's an interactive art piece, and it makes people think about what does it mean to be American,
So, in your opinion, what does it mean to be an American to you? Like, does it matter if we were born here, or is it embracing the laws, or like, how are they gonna show them like what it means to be American to them?
I think for them, depending on their status, they're going to have a definition. And of course, as for any of us, it depends really on your personal experience, how you go about in defining that. For them, many of them being undocumented and having, lived much of their life in the shadows, it's a big deal to be visible and to say, we are here. We have grown up in this country. We want to serve this country, and this is an opportunity for them to be recognized as the great contribution that they can make to this country.
What does that entail exactly?
All the logistical work with making this happen. From literally putting up pipes and drapes. I take care of all of that, make sure that everything's on time, which is, I got to leave in a little bit to make sure that it's running smooth. And so that's part of production, making sure that the event happens. So behind the scenes, a lot of behind the scenes.
So you're the timekeeper, then you make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yes.
So how is everything going so far?
So far, it's really good. The one thing that troubled us today was the fact that we were overwhelmed in attendance, but we figured it out, which is a good thing. We didn't anticipate this type of attendance, but it was
Did you guys expect like a full house?
We knew people were interested, and so we started getting people calling here as of yesterday, asking for tickets. And so we knew that there was some interest, but we had no idea what kind of interest. And so.
Yeah, I see you guys even got the big theater too.
Yeah.
You even got the big room.
Yeah, and it's packed, so we had to turn people away. We sold out.
Yeah, I actually walked in there and I couldn't even get through the door.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, what's the outlook for the whole weekend though?
The other theater, we're at the Mellow starting tomorrow, and it's a much bigger theater. There's different segments, and all are themed. For my part, it's setting up, making sure it's running smooth. So as of tomorrow at noon, we're there trying to make it, put it all together. So.
Now, is that more of a challenge to work over there than here, or was this more of a challenge here?
Here we've never worked this way, so this was a little more of a challenge. Over there, I know that theater, we've done that. This is our 4th year over there. But nevertheless, it's still a challenge because every year we're adding or incorporating new things.
It's different. Are you guys doing anything new there now, this year?
We are having a museum, a pop-up museum outside, and then we have inside we're trying to see if we can get a bigger screen to film short films.
I went there one year, and you guys had a projectile. Did you guys remedy that situation by actually getting a full-on projector board, or?
It's a different screen that we're working with this year.
Okay. And is it going to be a much better picture and sound?
Hopefully, yeah, that's the intention. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any last words you got before we head on out?
No, thank you guys for being here and for casting this and sending it out there so people know that here in Watsonville, California, we are doing something good for the community, on behalf of the Watsonville Film Festival.
I'm Alex, he's a director, I'm a producer, so we met halfway and we're just like, dude, let's make a movie, so that's how we started.
I'm still working on my first feature film. I did some stuff when I was in school that went into a local film festival where my school is located at, but I haven't done anything independently like now that I've been graduated, but working on this documentary with Gabe, that's the first independent post-grad work that I've been doing.
Two questions. One, where was the school located? And two, what's the documentary about?
Oh, okay. So I went to UCSC in Santa Cruz, and our documentary right now is focusing on changing trends in Mexican migration and how that's affecting farm labor.
Okay. And then what made you want to tackle that topic?
It's a topic that's very close to home since we're from Watsonville. Our community is very centered around agricultural. It's a very agricultural community, and so we've always had friends that have we've grown up with people that whose families were in agricultural labor. Our own families have backgrounds in the ag labor business, so it's kind of like we wanted to know what is influencing these changes and how that's really going to affect the future of the image of the Mexican and migrant worker.
Mexico, the near future. The border is closed, but the network is open.
Now, you said it took 10 years to actually get this in front of the cameras. Was that really, was there any point where you just kind of got low and you're just like, I don't know if I can get this film off the ground?
Sure, man. Yeah, no, I mean, when I started to write the thing, I thought it would take a year, to get done. And then it took 2 years, and then it took 3 years, and then you start to think, wait, am I ever going to finish, But then after you get to 4 years, you're like, well, now I'm never going to stop, because if I've already worked this long, I got to keep going, So I just keep pushing and trying to have fun along the way. I mean, he's making movies, so it's got to be fun,
How'd you get involved with the film festival?
So I, by chance, some of the committee members or board members of the film festival, they were actually one of the first customers that I had.
Oh, okay.
Or that I had in the beginning when I started selling the shirts and the stickers and everything else. And we just kept in touch, through social media, Facebook and things. And, as soon as this event came up, and some of them were, like I said, some of my old customers and now very good friends, they invited me to come out and, man the station here and giving me a chance to keep producing this art and pushing it out there. I definitely would like to be, not only for myself, but I think what I'm trying to do is, as a teacher myself in the school district, I want to get the students, especially my students, all the students, to realize, there's more than meets the eye as far as, what's going on here in Watsonville. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in here. There's art stuff going on here, mural painting, DJing, filmmaking, film festival right now. We have the Digital Nest that was just opened up, and one of the guys that's running the film festival, he just opened that up, and they're connected through the schools. There's all this cool stuff that's happening where in the end, in the future, they can take whatever they're learning and having fun in the process and make it into a career. I have the small business here in Watsonville, Monterey Bay Murals, and I have for 9 years, I've been teaching in the school district, working with the special ed students, and then from there, I finally got my emergency credential, so now I'm a substitute. And now I'm like kindergarten all the way up to high school. It's been a blast, you know. And so, as the schools are getting more programs in the schools, and for example, the Mariposa Art Program, which I'm also a part of now too, is through the Arts Council. And you know, I've been blessed to go into the schools and the after-school programs and teach mural painting. You know, I mean, if I had that when I was growing up here.
Who is really the Americans? I would say people came here to do good for this country.
We dream of a path to citizenship. We dream of contributing to the country we call our home.
And then, did you come from like a family of undocumented?
No, I'm one of the. There are 17 million households in America that's called a mixed status household, meaning there's at least one person in the household who's undocumented. So I'm Filipino, right? We're like Italians. We're like the Mexicans of Asia. We have huge families.
Yeah.
And so out of like 30 relatives in my family, I'm the only one who's undocumented. So that's a mixed status family. That's what it is all over Watsonville and all over Central Valley are mixed status families.
It's pretty much all over everywhere in the USA.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Think about it.
Yep.
So this is, I honestly overheard you say that this was your actual first feature film that you did.
Yeah, I've done 2 documentaries, but this is my first one that I'm directing, that I directed myself. I just finished principal photography on another film for MTV. So I'm directing a film for MTV on what it is to be young and white in a country that's getting less and less white. Basically asking young white Americans, where are you from? Immigrants like me always get asked where we're from, and we never seem to ask where they're from. Where are you from? Like, you know, white is not a country.
No, it's not. And I think with a lot of mixtures of races now, I think a full-on American now is going to curtail that.
Well, again, but that's why this film is a project of my organization called Define America, right? And it makes you really question, like, how do you define America? Is being American having pieces of papers to show? Or is America something you earn? You know, here's what I think is really interesting. I was on Bill O'Reilly a couple of months ago, and Bill O'Reilly said, "You don't deserve to be here." To me. And I started thinking, wait, what did Bill O'Reilly do to deserve to be here? Like, people say that undocumented people like me should earn citizenship. Well, I think we should ask American citizens, like, what did you do to earn it? Are you an American citizen?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? But if you're an American citizen, like, the question is, like, what did you do to earn it?
Because I think American citizen now is just a title. I mean, now I just look at ourselves as human beings just living in the country.
You can say that if you have papers. So if you don't have papers, you're like, I find it really interesting being here in the Central Valley. It's like without undocumented workers here, this whole state would collapse. The entire agricultural economy of the state would collapse. So I just think it's important to kind of question these things, and I think, frankly, that's what the role is of films and the role of art, and that's why film festivals like this, and places like this really matter, right? Really competitive. So I'm really proud to be here.
2 things we gotta wrap up.
Yeah.
One, what advice would you give young filmmakers on working on their first feature film or documentary? And 2, where can they find this film documentary?
Okay. 2 advice. 1, it's all about stories. You gotta find a good story. 2, no lenses. You gotta know lenses.
What do you mean by that?
No cameras and no lenses. Okay. Like how they work and what makes them different.
Oh, know them.
Know them. Like really learn the craft of filmmaking. Yeah. It's not just making a YouTube video. So there's that. The second thing, what you said, where to find it? It's on Netflix, on iTunes, Amazon, all the other digital platforms. It's called Documented.
Documented. Amazon, Netflix,
iTunes. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Final words.
Please check defineamerican.com. Please support the Watsonville Film Festival.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
try to become sushi chef?
You're a woman. Why would you want to work up here?
See? I knew it. This is because I'm a woman. You know I can do this job just as good as any man.
You want to become sushi chef? You go try another restaurant. Not here. It is not a job for you.
Johnny Zuko, and I'm standing here with the supporting actor of Eastside Sushi. And introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Rodrigo Duarte Clark.
And as you can hear his daughter in the back, he is the lead. He's the man.
No.
He's
I
the
am
man,
a
period.
When I go by Hollywood standards, it's a supporting role.
Now, I saw the poster. His name's first. Bam! Right there. So how'd you get involved with this project, sir?
I had been in another film in which the director was the editor for the film. So he had watched me over and over and over and over because he was editing it. And when it came to this film, he called me up and said, you know, I'm interested in you in this film. I don't audition anymore. I'm at an age where and he says, no, I want you to do it. I said, oh, in that case.
Well, in that case, hell yeah, I want to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I get all the free food. Let's go.
Yeah. So when she gets fired from the job that she has, she starts looking for jobs, and she happens to run into this job that involves being a sort of an assistant at a Japanese restaurant. And she becomes fascinated by the food and learns it real quickly and discovers that she has this talent. And so, you know, she now aspires to become a sushi chef, and then all the barriers go up. And they don't want her to be a sushi chef because she's not Japanese, because she's a woman. But, you know, in the end,
it works out for the fan. Yeah. And so you play her father in this film, and you play like a real old school,
school dad who is actually opposed to it. Why, you know, what are you doing with this Sakamoto stuff? You know, why don't you go do some taquerias? Why don't you learn how to make Mexican food? She's actually a good Mexican cook, but you know, he wants her to stay in the culture.
Hay un restaurante en el centro que está buscando un asistente de cocina.
Un restaurante.
Osaka.
Osaka.
She has to go through her struggles for me to kind of understand. And, you know, she's learning how to be a sushi cook at the house. She brings all this stuff. She brings all this Japanese food, and we're like, me and her daughter, my granddaughter in the play, are, you know, completely confused. Why is she bringing this food here? And but slowly but surely she wins us over. And then, you know, she, at one point, you know, she applies to become a sushi chef, and the boss says no, and she gets into it with him, and she quits. So she comes home, and she's really down and so forth. And at that point, you know, it starts to turn me around, and
you see how much it meant to her.
How important it is to her, and the whole notion of, you know, you support your children, whatever it is that they want to be. Yeah.
So how did you get into acting?
It's a long story.
Cliff notes. Because I understand you said you did a stage
I do
plays.
mostly stage.
Stage?
And it was almost an accident for me to be in this film, but
really?
It was a great accident.
How did you come by this role?
I belong to a ukulele band.
Ukulele band?
Ukulele. Ukulele.
Really?
It's pronounced ukulele.
Ukulele?
Not ukulele.
Ukulele, ukulele.
And an email got floated around saying, hey, they're looking for Japanese actors for this movie. So I thought, okay. So I auditioned and...
You got the part?
There you go.
Nice. And then what festivals has this been floating around of?
Many.
Many? Any you can name?
Cinequest was the first.
Cinequest?
Napa Film Festival. Miami, Florida, Wisconsin. Heartland, just Indianapolis, I believe. San Francisco, Oakland, all over.
Did you guys get a nice big warm reception out in Oakland? Because this film was shot entirely in Oakland.
Absolutely.
So what they think of it? What was the crowd?
Loved it.
They loved it?
Yeah. We've had standing ovations.
And this is a great film too, and you know, I ain't afraid to say, like, toward the end, I was kind of tearing up because I kind of related to her because, you know, she wanted that opportunity and she was willing to sacrifice to get it. You know,
did you think it was like a woman's Rocky film?
Yeah, I kind of actually did. You know, she got knocked back and she came back. You know. So how long have you been acting?
6 years.
6 years? Have you?
Full time.
you're based out of Oakland, correct?
Yes, I live in Oakland.
And what plays are you in currently right now that people can see you in?
I'm in rehearsals right now for a play called Distracted by Lisa Loomer. Very funny. It's about ADD.
Okay.
And it's funny.
It's funny.
Comedy.
Get your Ritalin ready.
Get your Ritalin ready.
Right?
Yep.
So are you?
I mean, there's a serious note to it.
Yeah, of course.
It's funny to see all the actors have a little ADD while they're acting. A few months ago, I was in the musical called Free Speech Movement.
Free speech music.
It was in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Free Speech Movement in Berkeley.
Oh, okay.
That was awesome.
Now, you saw the films that were here earlier. What were your thoughts on them?
Well, I really enjoyed the small clips, the ones that focusing on Japanese American culture and the mixture of Latino culture as well, and I thought that they were really important. The film about food justice was.
That's a food chain,
yes,
correct?
Food chain was really important and talked about the plight that farm workers have and how 83% of farm workers are undocumented and the exploitation that goes on under those circumstances.
If we cannot win this fight, we have lost the soul of America.
I think the entire supermarket business goes out of its way so that you're not reminded of where your food came from.
If you want to make change, you need to look at the people at the very top.
We became a little problem for the big corporations.
Farm workers in Florida place the responsibility of fair wages and conditions for workers on the big buyers of tomatoes rather than the farmers.
What we want is to establish change.
Now, what was your take on these past 4 days?
Oh, it's a huge success. We're really excited about it.
You look stressed throughout a couple of days, especially Thursday. You look.
Well, it was all good things. It was because people got. So we had a program before the film started, and the festivities started at 5:30. People were coming at 4 to get tickets right when I was getting set up. So that was when I was like, wait a second, I haven't even put my tablecloth down. It's gonna be a little bit to get all set up.
Yeah.
And then there was, we're doing Eventbrite, and so we were just figuring out that system. It's the first time.
You said you do films as well? You make your own films and you teach?
Yeah, so I've done filmmaking in the past. I actually worked in documentary film for a little bit in Los Angeles, and then I teach up at UCSC at the Everett program, and one of the things we do is technology for social change.
Yeah.
And one of the technologies that we teach is video production.
What was the documentary that you did?
So I've worked on a couple. One that I'm most proud of is Christmas Without China.
Christmas Without China?
Yeah.
Where can they find that? Or is it
Yeah, it's available online, and you can buy DVDs.
On like Netflix, Amazon, iTunes, Pirate Bay?
Maybe. It might be there. I don't think it's on any of those, but if you go to our website, so xmisswithoutchina.com.
Is you there? And how much is that?
I see these are hardball. I don't have the answers right now. I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna Google it right now.
What we do here at El Pájaro, it's actually a private nonprofit economic development corporation. So what we do is we provide technical assistance to businesses that want to set up here in Watsonville.
Yeah.
Here at the retail incubator, and we also have a kitchen incubator where we provide technical assistance and actual facility for people who want to be in the food-related business. The film festival is something that, as a nonprofit and as a involved community organization, we always want to support, local efforts in the arts.
Yeah.
Whether it's film or other type of artistic activity. That's something that I think our community needs, and we have very talented folks here in our community, and this is our way of supporting some of those efforts.
Now, what do you think of the turnout down there?
I'm very happy with the turnout because it does a couple of things. First, it supports the film festival, and secondly, it also showcases all the small businesses that we have here in the incubator. So, they're providing the food for free and supporting the folks here at the food festival.
and it's a good way for people to get together in an informal way and share, talk about some of the films, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you can see it's working too because you actually have people mingling and talking, and everyone's together now.
Absolutely. So there's no fee. We don't turn anybody away. You just need to show up.
Now, you offer assistance, so you show them. Do you show them or tell them like how to run their businesses accordingly?
Right. Well, we do. They do a business plan program. It's a 13-week course. They come here every Thursday and they work on their businesses. So we can do everything from accounting, marketing, packaging, everything that they need to help them become more successful.
Yeah. And you only specialize in retail, correct?
No, retail. And then we do
the kitchen,
right? No, but we can do any type of business. We have what we call the incubator without walls. So if you have something that's not related to retail or food, you can come in and still get technical assistance. And the best part, it's free.
Barry Bonds with a magic wand when I wrote this song, coming down, better track it, hit hard, they'll earn hard, and my heart pump through content, it sounds sweet. Everybody looking at you thirsty with the cups out and they pouring. Not talking about the money or the fortune, talking about your flow because my flow is like the ocean that wave high like goodbyes. Ocean ties, booty short girls with thick thighs that drop it low but get high. Look at my eyes, I get high. Look at my eyes, I get high, I get high.
Time flies, yes it does. Where does it go? I'm sure I don't know. It seems like yesterday I learned how to flow. Grab the microphone, a couple notebooks later. All of a sudden they want a quarter play my rap to some kind of prayer. Ahead of the game, this is the real deal. Last meal, Johnny Zuko linking up with Richie the Real. 10 years in the making, bringing you good music. Only thing left is Caesar Certain.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Have a good one. Maria Elena Venezuela. Almost had it.